Have you ever wondered how websites are created? Well, you're in the correct series of episodes to figure out the answers to the question. My name is Rashid, and on today's episode, we will be having a new series called The Basics of HTML Part 1 with Shadi Rashid. So, why not we get started? What will we learn today? We will learn about the header tags, Img tag, BR tags, and the B tag, the I tag, and the start and end tags, and the P tag. Why not we start with the header tags? So the header tags are all headings. The H1 tag is the biggest heading, and the ones below it go smaller based on the number. The H6 tag is the smallest of all of them. Below is a chart that shows the size of all the headings. As you can see, H1 is the biggest, H6 is the smallest. So, the header tags, why is there an H? The H stands for the header. And mainly, H1 is used for titles, titles, and H6 is mostly used, or mostly for me, it is mostly used for me as, subheadings. That's why, yeah, that's why they're really small. But still, a paragraph is smaller than an H6 tag. The Img tag. The Img tag is used to embed an image in an HTML page. SRC specifies the path to the image. Alt specifies an alternate text for the image if the image for some reason cannot be displayed. So first, you have, this. First, you have this. You have this first. Then you put IMG and then SRC, and then you put an equals, and then you put those little lines at the top, and then you can write or paste the pictures. You can paste the pictures link, and then after that you gotta close it with it. Yes. So the BR tag. The BR tag defines a line break. Unlike the P tag defining a paragraph, an empty indent is not added before the line. The BR tag is MD, which means that the closing tag isn't required. What does this mean? Well, we will learn about closing and opening tags later in this episode. But the BR tag, it defines a line break, which is over here. You can see on the picture, you can see at the bottom, which is at the place, there's the heading called BR example 2. You can see this is break, another break, example break, about break, break tag. Then they closed it. So the breaks are usually used to cut the sentence. Yes, right here. The next one we're on is the B tag. The HTML B tag merely gives text a bold appearance but does not provide any semantic meaning to the text. This tag is also commonly referred to as the B element. Tip: the HTML B tag should not be confused with the strong tag, which gives a strong emphasis. So for those of you who are confused, the B tag, basically, it's bold. So the B tag stands for bold. So if you wrap the B tag and the closing B tag around a word, that word will become bold, as you can see at the bottom preview. You can see there's a paragraph, there's a paragraph called I'm bold, and the B, then you can see bold is wrapped around the bold word, and then this is the display at the right. Okay, the I tag. The I tag in HTML is used to display the content in italic style. This tag is generally used to display the technical term, phrase, the important word in a different language. So at the bottom of the preview, you can see the code, P. This is normal text written inside a P tag, and then closing P. P, and then I, there's the I because they want it to be like italic font style. This text is in italic font style. And then there's a closing I, and then a closing P. And then on the top, not on the top page, on the top of the preview, you can see this is normal text written in P, inside P tag. This text is in italic, fun style. Here we go, next one. Start and end tags. An element, an HTML element, is defined by a starting tag. If the element contains other content, it ends with a closing tag. For example, P is starting tag of a paragraph and closing P is the closing tag of the same paragraph. Are you confused? Some of you are. So at the bottom of the page, you can see that there is a preview. At the top of it, you can see element. The element is the whole thing. The closing tag, which you can see at the right side, is the tag that closes it. The opening tag is the one that opens it. You know, like in a book, you do not know what it is unless you look at its cover. The same thing to this piece of code. Pretend that like the P tags are like the book cover and the book end. You do not know what it is or what header or what paragraph or what it is unless you see the opening and closing tag. The same thing to a book. The content is the things inside it. The things inside it. So now over here, we're on the tags. The P tag is used to define a paragraph. A paragraph is a little smaller than heading 6 and it's mostly used to write descriptions in web pages. P. This is a paragraph, also known as P, and then ending P. This is a paragraph, also known as P. So why not we go ahead and review everything all over again for some of the people who did not get things straight. Well, let's start from the heading tags. So, for those of you who already know, you guys can put what is the highest and smallest, what is the biggest and smallest heading tags. So let's read them again. The H1 to H6 tags are headings. The H1 tag is the biggest heading. The ones below it go smaller based on the number. The H6 tag is the smallest one of all. Below is a chart that shows the size of all the headings. Then you can see a chart of H1 to H6. Okay, next one. Img tag. The Img tag is used to embed an image in an HTML page. src specifies the path to the image. Alt specifies an alternate text for the image if the image, for some reason, cannot be displayed. Hey, have you ever seen, like, in a web page, you see that an image isn't displaying, and you wish that some way it could tell you what it's about so that you don't really have to look at it? Well, that's what the alt is for. The alt is like the little text under an image that can tell you the little summary of that one. So let's say I had a picture of an elephant. And the alt would be like a picture of elephant. Yeah. Let's move on. BR tag. The HTML BR tag defines a line break. Unlike the P tag defining a paragraph, an empty indent is not added before the line. The BR tag is empty, which means that the closing tag isn't required. And you can see this is a tag. You see on the BR example 1 on the preview, it says this is a text block break where multiple break line tags is used. So you see on the top one, the part where I just read it, you might think that it might not break. Why? Because the text isn't breaking, which is different than the BR example 2. Well, the BR example 1, why it's like that? Well, we're not for sure why it's like that, but still, it doesn't matter about what the style is, doesn't matter about how many spaces you have, it's still going to be the same. So the bottom, which says this is another example about break tag, it's still the same, just like the beer example 1, even though they're not like separated, just like the BR example 2. Okay, B tag. The HTML B tag merely gives text a bold appearance, but does not provide any semantic meaning to the text. This tag is also commonly referred to as the B element tip. The HTML B tag should not be confused with the strong tag, which gives a strong emphasis again. And you can see at the left side of the preview, P tag, Img Tag, bold, closing B tag, and then closing P tag. And then the preview is on the right. Okay, we're on the I tag now. The I tag. The I tag in HTML is used to display the content in italic style. This tag is usually to display the technical term, phrase, the important word in a different language. And at the bottom of the preview, it says P. P tag. This is normal text written inside P tag. Closing P tag. P tag. I tag. This text is in italic font style. And then closing I tag, and then closing P tag. And then at the top of the preview, it says this is normal text written inside P tag. And then it also says this text is in italic font style. Moving on to the start and end tags. An HTML element is defined by a starting tag. If the element contains other content, it ends with a closing tag. For example, P tag is starting tag of a paragraph, and another P tag is the closing tag of the same paragraph. And as I have said earlier, the element is the whole thing together. The closing tag is the tag that is at the end, and it closes it like a book. The opening tag is like the front cover of a book. You do not know what it is unless you see the cover, which is the opening tag. Then the content is the thing inside it. So everything inside a book, all the pages, is the content, and the back of the book is the closing. The front of the book is the opening, and then the whole thing is an element. Let's move on, everyone. Okay, here. The P tag. The P tag. Oh. The P tag. The P tag is used to define a paragraph. A paragraph is a little smaller than heading 6, and it's mostly used to write descriptions in web pages. So on the preview again on the left, it says this is a paragraph also known as P, closing paragraph. This is a paragraph also known as P, which you can see at the right side. So over here, you might be confused. This P tag at the beginning is the starting P tag, and then it says this is a paragraph also known as the P tag. Then it closes. And then the same thing says over here, but without the closing P tag and the starting P tag. Thank you for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the bell to get more videos. Bye. We'll see you on the next episode.